It's crazy. The more you get into the Bible, the more it explains like everything down to this day. You know, you'll understand like the way oppression happens, right? So, for example, back in slavery days, right? When African Americans were being enslaved or Africans were being enslaved in America, and people was trying to figure out like, where's God? Where's God? Now, if you look at the biblical days, you'll see that whenever a group of people, God's people get overtaken by another group of people who are usually godless people, because he's showing them a lesson. Now, he'll always send a savior, like figure, like a prophet or a judge or somebody that's in connection with him that he helps and leads along the way. For an example, my version of that prophet in modern day, more modernized day, would be Harriet Tubman. Someone like Harriet Tubman. Like she was one of the main figures to help free slaves. Like she was not only doing it and freeing people herself, but then she started making movements and doing things that led to the freedom of people being enslaved, right? So then they got out of oppression. And then what happens? They start doing the same thing as the pagans. They start doing the same things as the oppressors. So then what happens? God allowed them to be overtaken again. This goes for all groups of God's people, not just African Americans. This goes for all the different ethnic, because like we said, he said Gentiles, which is people who weren't his original people, versus his people. Everybody. So I'm not just saying like, oh, only African Americans experience. No, from Middle Eastern to Asia to all around the world. Anybody who gets enslaved or oppressed, because God selected those to be his people, and when they turn from him, he feels some type of way, so he punishes them. There's consequences for sin. Now, those who are already on the devil's side, those fallen angels, those people who demonic people who make blood sacrifices in order to gain their power, God's not worried about them because that's not his people's. He only it's like he only disciplines those he considers his children, like a father does a son. So that is why only certain groups of people experience the oppression, and it's usually from 9 out of 10 times he allows people who are godless people to be the ones to do the oppressing. Right now they may seem like they're on top, but their tower will fall, and they will have to answer for everything they've done and did. You know, they will reap their consequences afterwards. But for right now, we are reaping ours due to the fact that people keep turning away from God.